Good afternoon or good evening, Council. It is 6 o'clock, so we will begin tonight's meeting. And we do have regrets tonight from Councillor Wells. He is unable to make the meeting. So could I have a motion to approve the agenda for this public meeting?
I can move it.
Councillor Jay Dunbar, are you okay with that? Be it resolved that council approve the agenda for the public meeting as presented. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, we can move on to the planning applications. The first one is for 243 Causey Street, and I will turn it over to the RCAO clerk.
Thank you, Chair Hagman. I was on mute still. So there's two applications on this agenda this evening for 243 Causey Street, which is the old museum site. This was identified through our planning process to be a potentially viable piece of land for highway commercial development. As such, because it was owned by the municipality, it is zoned institutional. So the first thing we would need to do is accept the zoning bylaw amendment, which would change it from institutional to highway commercial. And then for the official plan, we would need to do an amendment for that to change it from living zone to commercial zone so that we could allow for the development of business in that area. I have identified in my report sections of the provincial policy statement, which would agree that this is a potentially viable use for this piece and portion of the land, as it is located centrally within an already business and industrial area as well. So I can take any comments. We did not receive any letters of concern or phone calls of concern. We did have one resident phone in just to have further clarification. Once it was explained, they were fine with that.
Okay, does council have any questions for Ms. Scott on this particular agenda item? And seeing none, and since there are no comments from the public, then we can move on to 4.2.1. And this again is the official plan amendment to 243 Causey Street. And again, Ms. Scott, any updates?
Again, we received no concerns from the public, but this would be similar to what I have just stated, and it does show all of the potential uses for that zone under the official plan.
Are there any questions on this report? And seeing none from council, moving on to 4.3.1, the 36 Beach Street application for a minor variance.
So again, with this property, we did not receive any concerns from residents surrounding the area. This would be similar to other applications that have been approved in the same area by council previously. The applicants are looking to increase the size of lot coverage to allow for a larger garage with an addition on the top as office space.
Does council have any questions on this particular application? Councillor Dunbar, Jay Dunbar, followed by Councillor Foster.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Katie, were there any issues with the setbacks on this year building? You know, is it within the regulations, or are we also talking about setbacks?
Thank you, Councillor Dunbar, through you, Madam Mayor. Yes, we are looking at the setbacks as well, because there would be a living use on the top, well, potential use on the top floor of the garage. The setbacks would be 9.8, and they are looking for a smaller variance from the side yard setbacks.
Are there any other questions, Councillor Dunbar? And turning over to Councillor Pastorero.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had two quick questions. One with the accessory dwelling being so close to the structure, does that have any bearing as far as fire codes go? And the second question being, I noticed that the garage had a lock, and I think you might have clarified what my second question, you said it was an office. I was going to ask if they needed an amendment for a secondary dwelling, if it's a lot for living in.
Thank you, Councillor Pastor, through you, Mayor Hagman. No, this meets with the fire codes and in other areas within the community. This would be permitted, some of these uses within other areas of the community. However, they are looking for a variance from 9.84 feet to 3 feet, but it does not impede the fire code. And yes, the loft area is for office space, not living space.
And are there any other questions on this application? Seeing none, we have no other topics for this public meeting on our agenda. So I have a motion from Councillor Jay Dunbar, Councillor Dunbar, seconded by Councillor B. Dunbar. And this is a motion that council adjourn the public meeting at 6:06 p.m. All in favor of this motion? And that's carried. Thanks, everyone.